जय जय जगन्नाथ सचिदानंद त्रिभुवन करे जार चरण बंदन। जय जय जगन्नाथ सचिदानंद त्रिभुवन करे जार चरण बंदन। नीलाचले शंख चक्र गदा पद्मधर नदिया नगर दंड कमंडूलकर। नीलाचले शंख चक्र गदा पद्मधर नदिया नगरे दंड कमंडूलकर। जय जय जगन्नाथ सचिदानंद त्रिभुवन करे जार चरण बंदन। जय जय जगन्नाथ सचिदानंद त्रिभुवन करे जार चरण बंदन। केह बले पूरवते रावण बधिला गोलकर वैभव लीला प्रकाश करिला। केह बले पूरवते रावण बधिला गोलकर वैभव लीला प्रकाश करिला। जय जय जगन्नाथ सचिदानंद त्रिभुवन करे जार चरण बंदन। जय जय जगन्नाथ सचिदानंद त्रिभुवन करे जार चरण बंदन। श्री राधार भावे एबे गोरा अवतार हरे कृष्ण नाम गौर करिला प्रचार। श्री राधार भावे एबे गौरा अवतार हरे कृष्ण नाम गौर करिला प्रचार। जय जय जगन्नाथ सचिदानंद त्रिभुवन करे जार चरण बंदन। जय जय जगन्नाथ सचिदानंद त्रिभुवन करे जार चरण बंदन। वासुदेव घोष बले करी जोड़ हाथ जय गौर सही कृष्ण सही जगन्नाथ। वासुदेव घोष बले करी जोड़ हाथ जय गौर सही कृष्ण सही जगन्नाथ। जय जय जगन्नाथ सचिदानंद त्रिभुवन करे जार चरण बंदन। जय जय जगन्नाथ सचिदानंद त्रिभुवन करे जार चरण बंदन। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। Over to Prabhuji or Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandatanan. Thank you very much for glorifying Lord Jagannath so nicely. Hare Krishna, so welcome back all the devotees for today's Chitamta study class. So we will be hearing from Her Grace Sriprada Radha Mataji today. And Mataji will be continuing activities of Sakshi Gopal. Most probably Mataji will summarize the whole pastime and conclude the chapter. Hare Krishna Mataji, over to you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much. I offer my humble respects to humble obeisances to all the Vaishnavas, each and everyone assembled here. Even though I am not eligible to speak Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, for my purification, I would like to speak about today. Today we are discussing activities of Sakshi Gopala, Madhya Lila, chapter 5 and shloka 133 onwards. I will share the screen. And I couldn't able to share the screen, Prabhuji. I don't know why. Okay. Okay.
You want me to share, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji, please. From shloka number 125 onwards.
Okay.
Om Ajnanatimidandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshorunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namavam Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. We are discussing Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 5. So we have reached the last section in this chapter. The nectarian pastimes of Sri Sakshi Gopala we were hearing previously. Last week, Her Grace Radha Mataji has explained very nicely up to shloka number 132. Today we will continue from shloka number 133. In this last Sakshi Gopala, last section, especially last portion, we can get actually very wonderful realizations about the Supreme Lord. So last week, Prabhuji was asking, the queen offered her nose ring to the Supreme Lord. So how to understand this one? Common people, how to understand this? They may think the queen has offered, so we also can do like that. So we can meditate on that Leela, so much realizations actually we can get. From last week, I was meditating on these words, Mataji's class. So I was thinking how Sakshi Gopala, Lord is so merciful. He is reciprocating with the Brahmanas. We already heard. We already, many times maybe, we could have heard the story. Lord is reciprocating with the Brahmanas. But see, after that also, Lord was in Katak, then King Prataparudra was established a wonderful deity worship. Everything is there, but still how Lord is reciprocating with them also. Usually we hear Jagannath, Lord Jagannath is appears in the dream of Pujari or dream of king. We heard many times. See, look at the devotion of here, the queen, the feelings of the queen, how she was offering, how she was feeling, and how Lord is reciprocating. If you see the before shlokas from 125, you can see the feelings of the queen. She is having the nose, that pearl, nut we say in the Hindi, na? So nut she is having. Usually what we will say, whatever we are having, the very costly item or very precious, which we think precious, we will wear and we will show to everybody. So here the queen also like that. But when she went to see the Jagannath, immediately what she is having the precious thing, immediately she wanted to offer the Supreme Lord. Then she went back home and she was meditating. My dear Lord, I wanted to offer this one, like that. Then see, Lord came into her dream, and Lord was telling, previously my mother had made some hole in my nose. If you want, you can offer your pearl to me. This is the Lord's reciprocation. When we are hearing these kind of pastimes, Leelas, immediately it awakens so much hope and love for devotion to the Lord. When a sadhaka is hearing again and again, we know na hearing means it's a package. Maranam, Mananam, and Nididhyasam. Hearing means like, okay, 8 to 9 Saturday morning we will hear and we will forget about that one. It's not like that. Hearing means Shravanam, Mananam, and Nididhyasam. So when a sadhaka, what happens when a sadhaka sincerely hears about the pastimes of the Lord, then what happens? And when he sincerely hear, and when he started remembering Mananam, then he contemplates that one. Oh, like, my dear Lord, I am very fallen. Many devotees are sharing that they are getting so many realizations, they are progressing nicely, but why I am not feeling any progress in my spiritual life? Like that, every time we have to cry. If you are getting nice feelings about the Supreme Lord, you are feeling so much happiness, blissfulness, then it is well and good. No, and it means like you are in a right track. But if you are not feeling any feelings, if you are not feeling, I wanted to chant more, or I wanted to hear more about the Supreme Lord, then you have to cry, you have to beg, my dear Lord, why I am not getting? I am very insignificant soul. Please help me. Prabhuji, Shloka, Veda-based screen is not, we are not seeing, Prabhuji. We are seeing YouTube page. So we have to cry. We have to cry like that. We have to cry, my dear Lord, please help me. Other than you, no one couldn't help me. Please help me. By our sincere prayers and by our sincere desires. Desires. What do you mean by desires? Here one may ask. If we are desiring sincerely after hearing the pastimes, then we also desire sincerely. One day, by the mercy of the Lord, by the mercy of the devotees, we also will participate. One day we will get the chance. We also will participate in the Lord's Leelas, Lord's pastimes. Maybe in this universe, maybe in another universe, maybe in this birth, maybe in another birth. Actually, we get chance if we pray sincerely in this birth itself. Only we couldn't realize. The Archamurti, which is mercifully came to our house, is ordinary thing. No, na? It is also Satchidanand. It is the Supreme Lord himself. But we are not realizing. Once we started realizing, then definitely our love and devotion for Krishna, for Jagannath, it will improve day by day, and it condensifies. So for that, actually, a sadhaka continuously should hear the pastimes of the Lord, the scriptures. That's why actually Srila Prabhupada made a rule in our ISKCON devotee daily routine. Hearing and reading scriptures, hearing lectures and reading scriptures is must in a life of serious sadhaka. So by hearing the Sakshi Gopala, whatever the Lord's pastimes, even insignificant soul like us also, we can get an opportunity to participate in the Lord's pastimes. I was remembering, I would like to share one amazing thing which happened in my life. From long time, many years, I was desiring to see Lord Balaji's Abhishekam, which is not an ordinary thing, which is South Indians, you must be knowing, that is, we can say, impossible in present days. That is like a very, 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 very rarest thing we can say, like that. It is like that. But by devotee's mercy, and my dear close friend Radha Mataji and Prabhu Shastri Prabhu's mercy, Lord has fulfilled that desire. This year I could able to witness the Lord's Abhisheka. I was thinking how fortunate the devotees who were sitting just in front of the Lord and watching all this event for like 1.5 hours something. Getting Balaji Darshan 1.5 hours is not an ordinary thing. So I was thinking how merciful Lord is and how merciful devotees are. Radha Mataji and Prabhu, they shared that ticket with us and they had given opportunity to witness. I was thinking, my family was commented, what a kind of friends you are having, who can share their ticket and to you, that too Lord's Abhishekam. They neglected their family. They kept aside their daughter and their son-in-law and they gave us opportunity. That's why usually say now we read, devotees are more merciful than the Supreme Lord. I was realized really the devotees association is how important. So sometimes when I'm reading the scriptures, I used to think all these leelas and happens in those days. It's not in present age or it's not for us. But that is entirely very wrong concept. Very wrong. So many times Lord Jagannath has proved me very wrong. So many experiences happened for me. Slowly, if time permits, we can share. This is the recent which I heard, I experienced. So I thought to share with you all. So by hearing the pastimes repeatedly, that is actually our investment, we can say, or that is the important priority thing in our life, we can say. Reading and hearing. It can do so many wonders in our life. So see, Sakshi Gopala pastime also, it gives the summary. The Lord is, that incident happened, means the Brahmana's incident happened many, many years before. But after later, Lord is reciprocating with the king and queen and many devotees, many people who are living there also. So, like these lessons, so many lessons we can learn by hearing process, by hearing. Again, hearing means hearing, smaranam, shravanam, smaranam, mananam, and nididhyasam. These three package can do so many wonders in every life of sincere sadhaka. So today we will continue from 133, shloka number 133 from 5th chapter. Sei haite gopalera kata kete sthiti, yehi lagi sakshi gopala nama haila kyati. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Since then, Gopala has been situated in the city of Cuttack, and he has been known ever since as Sakshi Gopala. So after that incident, we have hearing from previous weeks. After that, the deity, the Gopala, has named famously known as Sakshi Gopala. Even today, we can go and we can have darshan and we can meditate on the Lord's pastimes. Here, devotees also, mainly Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, mainly focuses on that only. We see activities of Mahaprabhu or the activities of devotees. What they do, they hear and they take so much pleasure in that activity. 134. Nityananda Mukhe Suni Gopala Charita Tushta Haila Mahaprabhu Swabhakta Sahita. Thus, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard the narration of Gopala's activities. Both he and his personal devotees became very pleased. What did they do? Usually when we are hearing and when devotees are hearing, the difference we can see, we can notice. What they do? Devotees, when they hear, what they do? They derive so much pleasure. They become so much ecstatic. Sometimes when we hear, what we do? We feel sleepy, we feel distracted. Even though we are in the class, we are thinking something else. That is our condition. But devotees, what they do? They derive so much happiness, so much ecstatic pleasure. They derive. Then 135. Gopalera ageya be prabhurahaya sthiti bhaktagana deke yena duhe ekamurti. That time when devotees are immersed in the hearing and they are ecstatically, then what they felt? When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was sitting before the Gopala deity, all the devotees saw him and the deity as being of the same form. See, what devotees realized? They realized means Lord has given realization, realized them, we can say, na? The Atha Shri Krishna Namadi na bhavet grahyam indriyai sevonmukhe hi jihvado swayam yena spuratyada. Swayam yena spuratyada, na? We can't understand the Supreme Lord. Lord will reveal himself. Then only we could able to understand. So here, the result of the hearing of the devotees, what they got the result? Lord has given the realization. They understood the Gopala deity and the Mahaprabhu who were sitting in the same form. Maybe we also will get that fortune, that good fortune, that opportunity in one day when we go pilgrimages and when we meditate on the Supreme Lord, when we are sincerely desiring, when we are sincerely chanting. Definitely one day we also will get the same opportunity whose those devotees got in the Chaitanya Lila, we also get. Actually, even now, we also mentally, many devotees may of us maybe mentally, maybe seeing that Leela, we don't know. Maybe so many exalted devotees are here in between us, we don't know. This happens, this is the result of sincerely hearing. Then 136. Duhe eka varna, duhe prakanda sharira, duhe raktambara, duhara swabhava gambira. They were of the same complexion and both had gigantic bodies. Both wore saffron cloth and both were very grave. Similarities are given here, Lord Gopala and Lord Mahaprabhu. So when a sadhaka in the beginning, whoever reading Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita or who are not in the level of understanding Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita definitely, deeply, they should not think Mahaprabhu is different. Yeah, Mahaprabhu, since he is doing pastimes in the human-like form, so he is not Supreme Lord. Actually, if you go into that subject, Mahaprabhu is none other than Supreme Lord with Shastric evidences. That will be a one more than one class itself. There are many evidences given in the Shastras. We so far we also heard so many gone through in childhood times. We are seeing the Brahmana offering the prasad boga to his deity Laddu Gopal. Then baby Nima is coming and accepting. Then baby Nima is showing darshan, like that many things. And in Rath Yatra, dancing in front of Jagannath also, we understand Mahaprabhu gives darshan in many places in Mahaprakash Lila, Mahaprakash Bhava. So many, like this, so many evidences we see in the Shastras. So anybody, nowadays we see in the present day, so many they climb, so many groups in our nearby, in our surroundings, they claims these are the Supreme Lord, these are the Supreme Lord. But we should not go with that. Only we should go with the evidences of Lord's pastimes, evidences from scriptures, and evidences from the Acharyas. So Chaitanya Charitamrita and Chaitanya Bhagavata, and even many scriptures like Atharvana Veda and Chaitanya Upanishad gives so many evidences that Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Lord himself. And from the past times, we read and we heard from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavata also, we can understand Mahaprabhu is not an ordinary personality, none other than Supreme Lord. And Acharyas, the great Acharyas like Shad Goswamis and Srila Jiva Goswami Pad and Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakura and many more Acharyas already approved and already claimed Mahaprabhu is none other than Supreme Lord. So the assembled devotees there also, they were looking, they were seeing, they were witnessing personally with their eyes. The similarities are mentioned here. What the similarities we see? They are having same complexion, they are having gigantic bodies, and they both are wearing shining saffron cloths, and both the lords are very grave. And the similarities continues. Mahatejo Maya Dunhe Kamala Nayana Dunhara Bhava Vesha Duhe Chandravadana. The devotees saw that both Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Gopala were brilliantly effulgent and had eyes like lotuses. They were both absorbed in ecstasy, and both their faces resembled full moons. How the fortunate devotees who can experience and who can participate in the Lord's pastimes like this. So the devotees who were presented there, they were experiencing all these personally. Next, Doha Deki Nityananda Prabhu Maharange Taratari Kari Hase Bhakta Gana Sange. When Nityananda saw the Gopala deity and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in that way, he began to exchange remarks with the devotees, all of whom were smiling. How wonderful. And the story narration by Sri Nityananda Mahaprabhu, that will be one more how wonderful nectarian it must be. So all the along with the devotees, Sri Nityananda also, he also participating, he also observing the devotees, and he is also smiling and experiencing. We see, especially the pastimes regarding either it's Mahaprabhu or either Jagannath or Gopala, how nectarian we are hearing, and how Srila Madhavendra Puri's ecstatic devotion also we have seen. How wonderful those devotees' lives who are experiencing all these and all. One small story of Lord Jagannath I would like to share. Since this is Purushottama Mass, we have to remember Lord Purushottama, the Lord of the universe, once at least. There was a North Indian princess was there, name I forgot. She was very ecstatic, staunch devotee of Lord Jagannath. So one day, one devotee has come from Jagannath Puri, one of the Panda has came from Jagannath Puri to visit that princess place. So that princess, usually it is a custom, like we also seen previously, King Purushottama Deva's wife, she offered ornaments to the Lord. So it is a custom when we are visiting the Supreme Lord, actually we should offer something according to our capacity. It's not like that only Lord has told Patram Pushpam Phalantoyam, so only I will offer that much. If you are capable, please, you can offer anything. Srila Prabhupada also, when New Jagannath Puri, San Francisco, when Jagannath deities has come to San Francisco, Srila Prabhupada was teaching his disciples, whoever come, he was teaching, when we are going to see the Lord, visited the Lord, we should offer some gifts, something we have to offer. Actually, all those are belongs to Lord only. Actually, we are not offering anything special. But still, as a gratitude, we should offer how much we can. It's not like that you are having so many crores and you are offering. I will say, Lord only told Patram Pushpam Palantoyam. No. So Prabhupada was teaching these two, his disciples. Then those hippies, they were new. They don't know anything. Na? So immediately, once Srila Prabhupada said, immediately they started bringing fruits. And on the spot, the place becomes full of mountain of fruits. Then Srila Prabhupada was so happy. The hippies, as it is, once Srila Prabhupada said, we should offer something to the Lord, immediately they follow. Immediately Prabhupada distributed the prasadam to everybody. Thus is the custom. We know, all of us knows that. So this princess also, she thought of giving some offering. Then she asked that Panda, I would like to give some offering to dear Jagannath. Will you take it and offer from my side? Like that. Then the Panda said, the Panda thought, was thinking, since she is princess, she must be giving so much riches, so much money, or so much valuable jewels, something like that. Then he told, okay. Then the princess, she came and she gave one box. Then the Panda was so much enthusiastic and he wanted to open and see what the Lord has, the princess has given. Then the princess said, no, please don't open this one. Please go to the temple, go to Shri Nilachal, and then in front of the Lord you open and please offer it to the Supreme Lord, she requested. But this Panda, after some time, he was so much enthusiastic and so much, he was curious, and he opened. He found box open, there is one more box. There is one more box, inside. Finally, he has seen one small box and inside only one small slip was there. Then this Panda was so much angry, really disappointed. What this princess has given? She is having so many riches. Only just she has given one piece of paper. What is that? Then he kept that box aside. Then, as usual, Jagannath came into his dream. You fool, my devotee has given you something, offering to me, and which you kept aside. What you have done? Tomorrow morning, bring and offer it to me, like that. Then Lord came to in the dream of main panda also. One of my dear devotee has given something offering, and your stupid panda has kept aside. Please go and bring that one. The Lord is confirming. He is not only came to that panda, he is coming in the instructing the head panda also. Then head panda went and he has seen that box. Then in that there is a paper. So head panda also very much curious. Oh Lord, since how much special is this devotee? How much special is this gift? Let me see. Since Lord also came into the dream and the Lord is instructing me. Then he found only 4 lines of one poetry. Then he was very curious what it was written. Then the panda was reading. The meaning was like that. My dear Supreme Lord, my dear Jagannath, you are the Lord of the universe. Everything you are having, not only one universe, so many universes you have created. And all the valuables, whatever here available, whatever jewels or whatever, everything belongs to you only. So how I can give you anything, something, how it will be very insignificant, na? It's like suppose one person is having big tubelight shop or big watch shop. Okay. For that person, if we go and give one tubelight or one small watch, how he feels, it will feel very insignificant. Na? Like that, this princess was expressing, everything belongs to you. How I can, what I can offer you. But in the form of Jagannath, you don't have your heart and mind because you lost your heart and mind to Vrajavasis. So now you are heartless and mindless. So you please use my heart and my mind. I am offering it to you. This is the meaning of that poetry. So the Jagannath, in that panda was he was felt so much ecstatic. Oh, what a great offering. That's why Lord wants to bring this offering personally. So Lord has instructed, the head panda understood. Immediately, the one who took the offering also, he also came to the temple and he also realizes. Then the head pujari offered that offering to the Jagannath, and Jagannath has kept that offering in his heart. So Lord's reciprocation is like that. With this hope, so someone may ask, so we also will write poetry or what? No. We have to understand the feelings. We have to understand the sincereness. The sincerity we have to understand, and that sincerity we have to apply and we have to try to follow in our life. That's all. Actually, Srila Prabhupada has given so much simple routine. If we follow that routine, simple, with sincerity, definitely one day, whether like these devotees are how they are experiencing the ecstatic feelings, we also can able to experience. If we are more fortunate, we can get the personal association of Mahaprabhu also, like these devotees. Now, what we are reading, like those devotees, if we are fortunate enough, we also get personal association. We will try. Next, 140. Bhavaneshwara pate che kaila darshana vistari varniya chena dasa vrindavana In his book, Sri Chaitanya Bhagavata, Srila Vrindavanadasa Thakura has very vividly described the places visited by the Lord on the way to Bhuvaneshwara. It's a big purport. We'll try to understand the summary. So, we already know this sloka, this meaning repeats many times in the Charitamrita, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Srila Vrindavanadasa Thakura, in his Chaitanya Bhagavata, very vividly described the places visited by the Lord in the Bhuvaneshwara. Anyone who is more interested or who more wanted to know from that place, from Cuttack, where Lord has gone, and all we can check Sri Vrindavana Bhagavata. Last chapter, we have seen Lord has started his journey to Sri Jagannath Puri. So on the way, all these Leelas are happening. In between Kattaka came, and Kattaka, in the place of Kattaka, all these Leelas are happened. From that, Lord has visited Bhuvaneshwara. Bhuvaneshwara, we know there is Lord Shiva temple. I think that name is Kapoteshwara temple, something. Kapoteshwara temple, yeah.
Lingaraj
Yes,
temple?
Yeah, sorry, Lingaraja temple. So there also here some description was given about Lord Shiva and that particular place, temple in the Bhuvaneshwar, Lingaraj temple. Here there is, Prabhupada is emphasizing, there is one tree, Amravana, Ekamravana, we can say. There is some significance in the given in the Amravana, in the Skanda Purana. The same place actually where Lord Shiva, after here the description given, Kashiraj incident, everybody knows. Kashiraj was a devotee of Lord Shiva. Then Lord Shiva supports Kashiraj. Then Kashiraj and Lord Krishna, a fight happens. In that fight, as usual, Supreme Lord wins, and then Lord Shiva realizes all the incident we know. This place, Ekamravana, there, that is the place where Lord Shiva is explaining Srimad Bhagavatam to Mother Parvati. So much significance is there. We see that pastime also again, how nectarian, how devotees are always, even Lord Shiva is always wants to hear and glorify the Supreme Lord and take the nectar. That is actually the speciality of the Supreme Lord. Mahabhagavatas and devotees always, they wanted to hear. So Lord has started his journey and Lord has reached to Bhuvaneshwar. Kamala Pureyasi Bhargi Nadi Snana Kaila Nityananda Hate Prabhu Danda Darinda. So from here, we can see 141 to up to the chapter end, we can see this section is called Danda Banga Lila. We learn about Danda Banga. That's description will start. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrived at Kamalapura, he took his bath in Bhargi Nadi river and left his sannyasa staff in the hands of Sri Nityananda. When they reached this place, Lord has given his sannyasa danda. We see now all the sannyasis usually they carry danda. So that danda Lord has given to Nityananda Prabhu to catch that one, to keep that one. But what Nityananda has done, we will see. Kapoteshwara dekite gela bhakta gana sange eta Nityananda Prabhu kaila danda bange tina kanda kari danda dila bhashana bhakta sange aila Prabhu mahesha dekina. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to the temple of Lord Shiva known as Kapoteshwara, Nityananda Prabhu, who was keeping his sannyasa staff in custody, broke the staff in 3 parts and threw into the river Bhargi Nadi. And later this river became known as Dandabanga Nadi. Even that Nadi, that Bhargi Nadi also so fortunate. It could able to get association of Lord. When Lord has gone to take bath, Then what Nityananda Mahaprabhu did, Nityananda Prabhu did, he broke the staff in 3 parts. Why he has done like this, then we can understand. Actually, there are the 4 levels there in the sannyasa. Srila Prabhupada given so much elaborated explanation in many places. We can search. Here in the Parpat also it is mentioned Kutichaka, Bahudaka, Hamsa and Paramahamsa. So I'll try to explain little. You'll understand just the names. Kutichaka means once the devotee get the sannyasa diksha, by that time he is very new and he don't have habit of begging, asking the realms. So what they do in the Kutichaka state, in the beginning of sannyasa, what they do usually, they will stay away from the house, maybe outside the village or maybe in other place. But the prasadam can come from the home or relatives or from family members. That concession is there in this level. After some time, after the devotee practices some more, the sannyasi practices some more and he progresses a little bit, then he come to the level of Bahudaka, where he can accept the realms, means he go to the door to door and he can takes the alms. We know sannyasis, it's not like that they go and they ask, they begging. They only go to only 3 to 4 houses and only go dohana matra. You see the Srila Sukadeva Goswami, he stay only how much time they will wait, only that milking cow, that much time only. It's not like that, okay, today I did not get my alms, so I will go furthermore for my runs. No. For their alms, only they will go very little houses. That is the Bahudaka stage. Then the next comes Parivrajaka or Hamsa. There, that they will preach. They will preach house to house. They will go state by state. They will go village by village, sometimes country by country, like our Srila Prabhupada and our Gurudev, dear Gurudev. It's like that. That is Parivrajaka level. When we offer our pranam mantras also, we say, so it is like that. That is the 3rd stage of Parivrajaka. Next comes Paramahamsa. Paramahamsa means up to Parivrajaka, they are having some rules and regulations. They are having some duties. But in the Paramahamsa stage, there is no rules and regulations, and that is the highermost. So here what Nityananda Prabhu is feeling, Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Lord himself. So obviously by default he is in the Paramahamsa and more that stage. So why he wanted to carry? And that too, Mahaprabhu has accepted the sannyasa from Mayavada sannyasi. So Nityananda Prabhu broke the danda. Jagannatera Deila Deki Avista Haila Dandavat Kari Preme Nachita Lagila. So Nityananda Prabhu broke the danda and Lord has not yet known. Lord went to have darshan. So immediately the darshan from the far away, actually from that place, he was seeing very far from Jagannath temple. By seeing itself, Mahaprabhu is exhibiting his ecstatic symptoms. After seeing the temple of Jagannatha from a distant place, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately became ecstatic. After offering obeisances to the temple, he began to dance in the ecstasy of love of God. The word Devla refers to temple, where the Supreme Personality of Godhead is situated. The present temple of Jagannath Puri was constructed by King Ananga Bhima. Historians say this temple must have been constructed at least 2000 years ago. During the time of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the small building surrounding and the original temple had not been constructed, nor was the high platform in the front of temple present during the time of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One may ask, only in the scriptures only we are seeing from distant place, that place is called Atharnala. Atharnala, why we are not seeing the temple like that, one may get doubt. So Srila Prabhupada is clarifying. By that time, these many present buildings are, it was not there. That structure was not there. That time structure was very older. So that time it was visible. At present, actually, we can't see. But we can feel the Lord's presence. So Mahaprabhu, being a Supreme Lord, he was so ecstatic actually by seeing his another form, Jagannatha. Next. Bhaktagana Vishtahana Sabena Chagaya Prema Veshe Prabhu Sangha Raja Margeyaya. All the devotees became ecstatic in the association of Lord Chaitanya and thus absorbed in the love of God. They are dancing and singing while going along the main road. That throughout the road, and that too in the personal association of Mahaprabhu, what devotees? Obviously, devotees will be ecstatic. Even materialistic people, here we see devotees, they were chanting, they were ecstatic, they were dancing and singing. But materialistic people also see, materialistic people, they have to buy a ticket, they have to go a pub or somewhere else for dancing. Okay, they drink, and what they do? Materialistic people also, they do the activity, the same. But devotees, what they do? They spiritually, sometimes devotees, some people will ask, why you people, Hare Krishna people, sing and dance and dance and dance? What is this like that? But what material people do? They also do the same. But here, what is the difference? They dance by intoxicated, materially, like material alcohol or whatever. But here, the devotees are dancing and singing, what? Intoxicated by the personal association of Mahaprabhu and Lord Jagannath. This is the difference between spiritualists and materialists. Next. Hase kande nache Prabhu, hunkara garjana, tina krosha pata haila, sahasra yojana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu laughed, cried, danced, and many ecstatic vibrations and sounds. Although the temple was only 6 miles away, to him the distance seemed thousands of miles. Although the distance was 6 miles, but what devotees are feeling? Mahaprabhu was feeling it was very thousands of miles. Yugaitam nimishena chakshusha pravrashaitam. So we see in the everyday Sikshastakam, it is like that. In the ecstasy, one moment, it will seem like 12 years. Vrajavasis are pure devotees, experiences this one. So here Mahaprabhu is also experiencing the 6 miles distance. He is feeling thousands of miles. So that much eagerly, that much enthusiastically, they wanted to see Lord Jagannath. That is the mood of pure devotees. Chalite Prabhu aila tarnala, tahana si Prabhu kichu, bahya prakashila. Thus walking and walking, the Lord eventually arrived at the place known as Atharnala. Arriving there, he expressed his external consciousness, speaking to Sri Nityananda Prabhu. After reaching the Atharnala, Lord is expressing his mood to his consciousness to Nityananda Prabhu. Prabhupada is explaining, at the entrance to Jagannath Puri is a bridge with 18 arches called Atharnala. Athara means 18. We can see whoever has visited Jagannath Puri, they must be knowing about this place. Nityananda kahe Prabhu deha mora danda, Nityananda bale danda, hailatina kanda. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has thus regained external consciousness, he asked Nityananda Prabhu, please return my staff. Nityananda Prabhu then replied, it has broken into 3 parts. Lord was so much in ecstasy, he couldn't able to, he forgot to ask Nityananda Prabhu to get back his danda. Then once he came out of his ecstasy and he came to his external consciousness, he asked his danda. Then Nityananda Prabhu said, it broke into 3 parts. Prema veshe padila tumi tomara darino toma saha sei danda upare padino. Nityananda Prabhu is explaining. Mahaprabhu got angry. Mahaprabhu was shown is angry. So Nityananda Prabhu is explaining. Nityananda Prabhu said, when you fell down in ecstasy, I caught you. But both of us together fell upon the staff. Nityananda Prabhu's mind, internal heart, already Prabhupada has explained in previous purport. Here, Nityananda Prabhu was talking externally. He was simply telling, when you are in ecstasy, you are about to fall down, my dear Lord. That time, I catched you. So you and me, we both were fell down on the danda. And that danda was broken. Nityananda Prabhu was telling. Dui janara bhare danda kanda kanda haila sei kanda kana padila kichuna janila. Thus the staff broke under our weight. Where the pieces have gone, I cannot say. Danda kanda kanda haila. Because of our both weight, that danda was broken, and where the pieces gone, I cannot say. So Nityananda Prabhu was telling, Mora parade tomara danda haila kanda ye uchite haya mora karatara danda. It is certainly because of my offense that your staff was broken. Now you can punish me on this account as you think proper. So Nityananda Prabhu, he knows it's a offense, but at the same time, it's not an offense. Since Mahaprabhu was so much angry, so Nityananda Prabhu very humbly he is telling, yes, I know this is offense, but for my offense, if you want to give any punishment, you can give me. Then Mahaprabhu is telling, Suniki chu Mahaprabhu dukha prakashila ishat krodha kari kichu kahite lagila. After hearing the story about how his staff had been broken, the Lord expressed a little sadness and displaying a bit of anger, began to speak as follows. So here Prabhupada explaining, we can see actually what the Mahaprabhu's mood is. We see Bhagavad Gita, Yadyad Acharati Sreshta Tatta Tevetaro Jana. When what a great people do, others will follow. So Mahaprabhu, what he wanted to teach, how the sannyasis should behave, how the sannyasis to be, he wanted to preach by his own example, personal example. But here, Nityananda Prabhu broke the danda. So he was exhibiting little anger. Next we see what Mahaprabhu is telling. Nila chale animura sabahita kaila sabe danda dana chila tahana rakila. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, you have all benefited me by bringing me to Nilachal. However, my only position was that one staff and you have not kept it. Only one position I am having, my danda. The sannyasis, they don't have any positions. One danda and one jole, we will say in Telugu. One bag actually, sannyasa bag. One second pair of their clothes and one danda. That's all. So Mahaprabhu is telling only one position I am having. That also you couldn't able to keep properly. So Mahaprabhu was chastising. Tumi saba age yaha ishvara dekite kiba ami age ai naya besagite. So Mahaprabhu in that angry mode he is telling, so all of you should go before or behind me to see Lord Jagannatha. I shall not go with you. So you not kept my position properly, so I don't want to come with you. Whether you all go front or whether you all go beside. So devotees thought it's not appropriate to go before the Lord. So in that, Sri Mukunda Datta was telling, no, my dear Lord, you go, you walk before, we will come behind. Mukunda Datta kahe Prabhu tumi yaha aage Ami Saba Pacheyaba Nayaba Tomara Sange. Shri Mukundadatta told Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, my dear Lord, you should go ahead and allow all the others to follow. We shall not go with you. It's not etiquette. So Mukundadatta said, my dear Lord, please, you walk before, we will follow you. Please allow us to follow you. Eta sonni prabhu age chalila shigra gati ujite na pare keha dui prabhu ramati. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then began to walk very swiftly before all the other devotees. No one could understand the real purpose of the two lords, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. Up to that, Lord was walking slowly. He was experiencing the ecstatic, but here Lord was started walking very swiftly, very fast. There, the devotees, whoever following them, they couldn't understand both what these two lords are doing, what is the mood of these two lords and all. They couldn't able to understand. Ino kena danda bange, teno kena banga bangaya, bhagana krode te ho, iha ke doshaya. The devotees could not understand why Nityananda Prabhu broke up the staff, why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu permitted him to do so, or why after permitting him Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became angry. So devotees, they were thinking, without the sanction of Mahaprabhu, nothing will happen. So why Lord has allowed to Nityananda Prabhu to broke the danda? So if Mahaprabhu allows that one, why now he is become angry? We already seen that purport. Srila Prabhupada has explained very nicely. Nityananda Prabhu was thinking, since he is the Supreme Lord, Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Lord, he doesn't need to carry the danda like other sannyasis. But being externally, Mahaprabhu wants to show the example, his personal example. Externally, actually, he was becoming angry. Ino kene danda baga, teno kene bangaya. Bhagana krode teno iha ke doshaya. Sorry. The devotees could not understand why Nityananda Prabhu broke the staff and why Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu permitted him to do so. Or why after permitting him, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu become angry. We finished that shloka. Sorry. This is the last shloka, I think. Danda banga lila yei parama gambira sei buje duhara pade yandra bhakti dira. From here, 158 to 161, actually, this is the last section of this chapter, which is giving the falashruti of hearing this Danda Bhagna Lila. The pastime of breaking of the staff is very deep. Only one whose devotion is fixed upon the lotus feet of the two lords can understand it. So Srila Prabhupada is explaining the devotees who's fixed upon the Supreme Lord and both the lords, they can able to understand. So here Prabhupada is explaining again like normal sannyasis, means what we see usually they have to carry the danda in the three levels, in the first three levels, Kutichaka, Bahudaka, Parivrajaka, Acharya. And when they arrive to Paramahamsa level, they no need to carry. But being the Supreme Lord, he is already in the Paramahamsa stage. So that's why Nityananda Prabhu doesn't want to Mahaprabhu to carry the danda. That's one actually. That is the reason, internal reason of breaking Nityananda Prabhu breaking the danda. Brahmanya Deva Gopalera Mahima Ye Danya Nityananda Vaktayara Shota Sri Chaitanya. The glories of Lord Gopala, who is merciful to Brahmanas, are very great. The narration of Sakshi Gopala was spoken by Sri Nityananda Prabhu and heard by Sri Chaitanya Prabhu. So here we see the glories of Lord Gopala, who is very merciful to the Brahmanas. This all the incident, all the episode was narrated by Nityananda Prabhu. So here Srila Prabhupada is explaining there are 4 points of instruction one should consider in the story of Sakshi Gopala. First, the deity, Archa Vigraha of Sri Gopala is eternally Sachidananda Vigraha. Pratima Tumi Nahi Sakshat Vrajendra Nandana. So this deity, Archa Vigraha, Sakshi Gopala, is not a deity. It is Sakshat Sri Vrajendra Nandana, Sachidananda Vigraha, the transcendental form of the Lord. Second, the deity surpasses material regulative principles and extends the reality of transcendental principles. The deity surpasses material and regulative principles. The Supreme Lord not comes under the regulative principles. He is above, he is asamardha. Third, one can be situated in a transcendental position after becoming a Brahmana. But as a Brahmana, one has to follow the regulative principles very strictly. Srila Prabhupada here summarizing, one can be situated in transcendental position after becoming a Brahmana. I used to think, I am also a Brahmani, why I am not keeping in a transcendental position, always like that. So like that, many of us may think, it's not sufficient you becoming a Brahmana. You have to follow the principles very strictly. Titikshasva, Karunika, there are duties of Brahmanas given in the scriptures. So like that, we have to follow by taking birth in the Brahmana family, or by taking Brahmana initiation. It's not sufficient. After taking Brahmana initiation, you have to follow the rules and regulations, duties of the Brahmana. Then only you can be situated in that consciousness. We have to understand. Srila Prabhupada is stressing this point also. Lastly, Brahmanya Deva indicates Lord Sri Krishna himself, who is worshipped thus. Namo Brahmanya Devaya, Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha, Jagatitaya Krishnaya, Govindaya, Namo Nama. This incident that a devotee who is under the protection of Krishna is automatically situated as a Brahmana, and such a Brahmana is not illusion. This is factual. So these 4 lessons and all we have to take from this story, from this pastime of Sri Sakshi Gopala. Yesterday we were reading Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th canto, chapter 11, text 13 and 14. 2 wonderful shlokas we have gone through. Titikshasa Karuna Maitriya Chakila Jantushu Samatvena Cha Sarvatma Bhagavan Samprasitati. How Lord will be pleased has explained in those 2 shlokas. It is mentioned the Lord is very satisfied with his devotees when the devotee greets other people. How? Tolerance, mercy, friendship, and equality. So for who want to be in Brahmana conscious or who want to become Brahmana, those devotees especially, they have to develop these qualities very particularly. Tolerance, mercy, friendship, equality. If you do not develop these qualities, what will happen? Lord him telling very clearly, he will not, actually Swayambhu Manu is telling, he will not, Lord will not be pleased with those devotees. So we have to develop those qualities very sincerely. So the last shloka of this chapter, 160. Shraddha yukta hana iha sune jana achire milaye tare gopala charana. Falashruti of hearing this pastime, one who hears this narration of Lord Gopala with faith and love very soon attains the lotus feet of Lord Gopala. Then the last shloka, Shri Rupa Raghunatha Pade Arasa Chaitanya Charitamrita Kahe Krishna Dasa. Shri Krishna Dasa, praying at the lotus feet of Shri Rupa and Shri Raghunatha, always desiring their mercy, I Krishna Dasa narrate Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita, following in their footsteps. Thus, and the Bhaktivedanta purport Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, 5th chapter, describing the activities of Sakshi Gopala. Thank you so much. for this opportunity to glorify the Supreme Lord. Any comments or any one on to ask, I will try to answer. Otherwise, Prabhuji is here. He will help us to understand.
Hare Krishna,
Already Udarsh.
thank you very much for a wonderful class. So, Madhya Lila was very, very deep, and you nicely concluded why Nityananda Prabhu has done that pastime. So it was very, very nice to hear. Udasham Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, Mataji, thank you so much. You put a nice part of this one. I have a few doubts. Like you told the
Few
sannyas,
doubts.
yeah, few doubts.
Okay,
Like,
Prabhuji, I'm writing.
Yeah, Mataji, one by one we'll talk about. Like you did the 4 stages of the ashrama in a sannyas ashrama. There is a 4 stages mentioned: Kutichak, Bahudak, Hans, and Paramhans. You took a name of a Parivarjaka.
Both are
So
same, Prabhu. Hamsa and
Hansa and
Parivarjaka are same.
Parivarjaka is same. So Parivarjaka is what is exactly meaning? I didn't get that one. Is a
He is a preacher, Prabhu. Means the
it's a preacher
that,
who moves from here to there. Yeah. I got
yeah. We say na.
Yeah. That's why I was a little bit doubt because this was not clear to me. Aga Mataji, one thing more in a Dandabhanga Lila, they have why it was a ek dandi, that danda which has been broken, it was 1. It's not 3 dandi. That was 1 danda.
Yeah.
And
that is also one significance, Prabhu. Mayavadi Vadis, they say 1 danda because they says we and the Supreme Lord are 1. Means the devotee after they merges into the Supreme Lord, they become 1. That's why their danda is having 1. Okay.
So
but we are
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's danda was 1. Yeah.
1.
Yes.
So Nityananda Mahaprabhu was broken into 3 pieces as having significance of Manasa, Vacha, Karmana. Actually, the present we see the ISKCON sannyasis, what they carry, we may ask, we are not seeing Tridanda, no. They are also carrying Ekadanda.
No, 3 dandi
actually,
are there. Yeah.
Actually, in that single we are seeing, but inside they are 3.
Yes, Mata.
I got this doubt actually. I asked one of our sannyasi who visited our house. So he explained me. He showed me actually. Yeah,
he has 3 dandas. That's yes. Then one more thing that Radhanath Swami Maharaj is giving a lot of stress on Dandabhanga, this Leela. And as we explain here that Nityananda Prabhu wants to prove that he has to, already Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Paramahansa, he does not need to carry out. But still there is a, then why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has to get angry on that one? Is broken. Is that a Leela just to chastise or
that's
something
why,
else?
That's why Acharyas mentioned that is only external reason.
External reason.
There are internal reasons and there are external reasons. External reasons, up to external reason, one level of devotees will understand. To understand the internal reasons of the Lord, we have to go little bit into, then only Lord will reveal. So that's why Srila Prabhupada, but we are very fortunate. Being the disciple of Brahmamadhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, actually we are getting everything in a ready-made plate.
Yes.
even though we are not eligible, Srila Prabhupada and Acharyas, they are giving both external reasons and internal reasons before itself for us. Actually, we are so fortunate.
Madhya, they says that after that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told the Nityananda, you go back to the Bengal and do the prachar there. So is that after that they are meeting only on the Chaumasa when they will used to come, or they didn't meet after that? Or Nityananda Prabhu has gone back that time itself after taking darshan of the.
I'm not sure, Prabhu. I have to refer once.
Mataji, because
maybe Prabhuji may add.
Yeah, I have just remembered that this thing was there, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sent him to back after that. So
I have to recollect, Prabhu. Once I will recollect, then I can confirm.
Yeah, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for your question.
Hare Krishna devotees, any other questions? Mataji, since no other questions, you can conclude.
Yes, sir. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Pad ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo